8 million copies. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel is one of the best selling personal finance books ever written. And he's got the big idea right. Behavior beats math. How you act with money matters more than what you know about money. But here's what no one is saying out loud. If you're Gen X, you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s. That book gave you a diagnosis without a treatment plan. It told you the what, but it didn't give you the how. Today, I'm going to show you what Housel got right, what he's missing for Gen X, and give you the actual framework he left out. Let's get into it. Let me be clear. I'm not here to trash the book. I think it's one of the most important personal finance books ever written in the last 20 years. Housel got two things right. First, behavior matters more than spreadsheets. He tells the story of Ronald Reed, a janitor, gas station attendant. He made $8 an hour for most of his life, yet he died with $8 million, not because he was a genius investor, because he was patient. He bought good companies and never sold. Meanwhile, a Harvard-educated Merrill Lynch executive went bankrupt because he overspent. Same economy, same stock market, totally different outcomes. The difference was behavior. Now, Housel didn't invent this idea. The scriptures, particularly in Proverbs, told us thousands of years ago, the plans of the diligent one surely leads to advantage. That's Proverbs 21:5. But Housel made it mainstream. Millions of people needed to hear it in modern language, and he delivered. The second thing he got right, the concept of enough. There's a famous story in the book. A billionaire is at a party. Someone says, that guy over there makes more money in an hour than you'll make in a lifetime. The response, but I have something he'll never have. Enough. Powerful, true, important. But here's where I started to have a problem. Behavior beats math. Okay. But how do I measure that? How do I measure behavior? Another thing he said is your enough number. Okay, what's the formula? He also says everyone is playing a different game. True, but what are the rules for my game? Let me tell you where this hit me. I was in my early 50s, going through a divorce, basically starting over financially. I understand that behavior matters. I believe that. I've been studying scriptures and also money for over 30 years. But when I sat down to figure out my life, I had no idea if I was making progress or just spinning my wheels. My bank balance was low. Well, that's a math measurement. My anxiety was high. What's the measurement for that? And here's what I realized. You can't manage what you can't measure. So why are we measuring money and not peace? And this problem is worse for Gen X. Let me tell you why. And let me read this directly. According to the Schroders 2025 U.S. Retirement Survey, Gen X estimates that they need $1.1 million to retire comfortably. They expect to have $711,000. That's a $400,000 gap. But here's a real number, and I quote, the National Institute on Retirement Security says the median Gen X household has just $40,000 saved. Not average, median. Half of us have less than that. 69% of Gen X workers say that they are behind on retirement savings. 47% say they're significantly behind. That's more than any other generation. Only 14% of Gen X has a pension. Boomers, 56%. And 53% of Gen X are worried about outliving their savings. Meanwhile, we're in the sandwich generation. We're supporting aging parents and adult children at the same time. Nearly a quarter of Gen X people have borrowed from their retirement accounts just to keep up. So when Housel says that behavior matters more than math, we agree. We nod. We believe him. But then we close the book and think, okay, I'm 55. I've got maybe 10 to 15 working years left. My mom needs memory care. My son just moved back in, and I need an actual plan, not a philosophy. Housel gave us the diagnosis, but he didn't give us the treatment plan. That's the gap. So I built the measurement system that was missing. It's called the Peace Index. It's not a replacement for tracking your net worth. It's the other measurement, the one that tells you whether your money is actually serving your life or just giving you a number to stress out about. Here's how it works. Rate yourself from 1 to 10 in 7 dimensions. Number 1, security. Could you handle a $2,000 emergency without panicking? Not ideally. Actually, right now, could you handle that? If your car breaks down tomorrow, what happens to your stress level? Number 2, clarity. Do you know within $100 what you spent last month? Or is money simply disappearing and you don't know where it goes? Number 3, progress. Are you moving forward? For instance, in regards to your saving, are you saving at least $50 a month? Are you doing it? Number 4, freedom. Can you say no to the dinner that you can't afford? Could you say no to the gift that would sink you? If you say no and feel shame about it, your score is going to be low on this one. Number 5, generosity. Can you give without anxiety? This is what Housel's enough number points to. But can you give freely if it makes you panic? Number 6 is alignment. Does your spending match your values? If you say family matters most, but your credit card says something different, that's a gap. That gap is causing you peace. Number 7, rest. Can you sleep? Or does thinking about money wake you up at 3 a.m.? So on the peace index, that's either a 1 or 2 score. If you're sleeping good, you're scoring higher on that. So add up all your scores, divide them by 7. That's your peace index number. If you're below 4, you're in crisis mode. This is not to judge you, but just to give you clarity. If you're between 4 and 6, you're surviving, just not thriving. And this is where most Gen X live right now. Are you above 6? You're building something real. Above 8, you may have more peace than money. And that's which is exactly what Hazel said actually matters. Same income, same bills, different peace index score. That is what we should be measuring. You can download a free copy of the Peace Index from my website, richwithouttherush.com. The link is in the description. Now let me show you what it looks like in real life. Mark is 52, project manager, makes $95,000 a year. On paper, that sounds fine. In reality, his mom has early stage dementia. His daughter graduated from college with $38,000 in student debt and needs to move back home. His wife wants to quit her part-time job and help out with his mom. Mark has $45,000 in his 401k. When Mark first took the Peace Index, here's how he scored. For security, he scored a 3. So he's just one emergency from a disaster. For clarity, he scored a 2. He had no idea where $1,400 was going every month. For progress, he had a score of 2. He hadn't contributed to his 401k in 8 months. For freedom, he scored a 4. He was saying no to things, but he was feeling guilty about it. For generosity, he scored a 3. He wanted to give to charity, but he couldn't without stressing. For alignment, he scored a 4. What he said mattered, didn't match his spending. For rest, he scored a 5. He could rest, but money was always in the background. His total was 23 points. You divide that by 7. His peace index score equaled 3.2. That's crisis territory. Now, here's the thing. Mark didn't get a raise. He didn't inherit money. He didn't find some magic investment. He did 3 things over the next 12 months. First, he got clarity. He tracked every dollar for 30 days. He found $1,400 a month in spending he couldn't even remember. Subscriptions, drive-through lunches, and Amazon ordering at midnight. Second, he automated $200 to his 401k, $100 a month to an emergency fund, automatic, before he could even spend it. Third, and this is the one Housel wouldn't tell you, he prayed. He brought his finances before God and asked for wisdom. Proverbs 2:6 says that God himself gives wisdom. 12 months later, same job, same salary, same family situation. His peace index, 6.8. Same money, different peace. That's the goal. Now, let me connect this to something bigger. In my book, Rich Without the Rush, I teach something called the Tortoise Formula. Direction times discipline divided by distraction equals wealth. Direction is knowing where you're going. That's your enough number, the actual dollar amount you need to retire with peace, not a dream number, your number. Discipline is showing up every day, that $200 a month, the automatic transfer, the no to things you can't afford. Distraction is everything that pulls you off your path, the comparison, the anxiety and panic, the midnight Amazon ordering. Here's what matters for Gen X specifically. If your direction is 10, your discipline is 10, but if your distraction is a 2, you just cut your wealth in half. 10 times 10 divided by 2 equals 50. But what if you get your distraction down to 1? 10 times 10 divided by 1 equals 100. Double. Your biggest threat to your retirement isn't your salary, it's your distractions. Get your distractions under control and everything changes. Okay, here's your homework. Just one thing. Step 1. Take the Peace Index. You can download a free copy at richwithouttherush.com. It's free, takes 5 minutes, and write your number down. After you take the Peace Index calculation, the one that is the largest number, that's the one you focus on. Don't try to focus on all 7, just the one who's making the biggest impact on your peace. Step 3, do one thing about the lower scoring Peace Index rating. Just one thing. So, for instance, if it's clarity, track your spending for 7 days. If it's security, open up a savings account and automatic transfer $25 there every month. If you score lower in rest, write down the 3 things that's keeping you up at night and share it with someone you trust. One thing this week, that's all. You're not broke, you're just exhausted. And there's a difference. And the peace index is how you prove it to yourself. Here's the bottom line. Morgan Housel wrote a great book. Behavior does beat math. Enough is the right goal. Those things matter. But for Gen X, being in the sandwich generation, looking at your retirement gap, trying to hold together our parents, our adult children, and ourselves, we need more than just philosophy. We need framework. We need a measurement. We need peace. That's why I wrote Rich Without the Rush. That's why this channel exists. And that's why I'm here every week. If this has helped you, please subscribe and share it with someone that needs to hear it. And go take the Peace Index. Next week, we're talking about the enough number, how to calculate the actual number you need to retire in peace, not some dream number or some number a financial advisor tells you, your number based on your life. You don't want to miss that one. I'm Arlie Vann, and I'll see you later.